The functionality of the Rife oscillator, the heart of it is the sweep function generator that it uses. It uses a BK precision sweep function generator that allows me to program specific frequencies if I want to. If I wanted to do whatever Rife frequencies that are out there for modulation, or if I want to do the Hoyling process, if I wanted to do the sweep, this is one of the most versatile systems that I've seen, which allows me to sweep through the ranges that I want to be able to do with it. Specifically, the Hoyling setup ran from 500 hertz to 50 kilohertz. So this one will allow me to be able to do that. Right now you can see it. I could set specific frequencies if I want. It's on frequency. But if I wanted to change it to 100 hertz, I could easily do that. So let's set. We want to change it to, like if we want to do a sweep function setup, we're in the sweep function mode right now, so we could set the start frequency. If I wanted to do 50 kilohertz, I hit 50 kilohertz. Then there's a set button off to the side. And if I want to set the stop to be at 500 or 50 kilohertz, let's go 50 kilohertz. So we set the start. Let's do the stop at 500 kilohertz, which was 500 hertz, which is what the Hoyland setup was. So very, very versatile system. We can vary the rate of time up to 100 seconds. You can see it, it's easy to set up the rate. It cycles through whatever your range that you want to do. You can do it into the milliseconds where you're sweeping through a whole range of frequencies extremely fast. So it's a very, very, very flexible system. It allows you to do the benefits of Rife or the Hoyland, and also have the high voltage component that you get the benefits of with the traditional Lahosky multi-wave oscillator style devices. So it has now become the true marriage between the biocharger style units and the Rife machines. As you've seen my progress develop over the time, I was always interested in dealing with the pulsing of it, and with the spark gap design I tried several different processes where you vary the voltage on the transformer, and it would allow you to do some pulsing with it up to a certain range, but it wasn't very accurate. And then the Biocharger 2012, which I was able to accurately pulse the way I wanted to below 60 hertz, but above 60 hertz limited you to pulsing up to 60 hertz because the transformer cores that are internally on the spark gap design could not handle frequencies any higher than that. So as radio developed in the early 1900s, so has this technology developed to where back originally when Marconi did his famous S signal in Wellfleet, Massachusetts, he used a spark gap design, and that spark gap design allowed you to communicate static through the airways. They were not broadcasting voice across with the spark gap design, but it was merely static that you communicated through Morse code to broadcast. But the radio didn't really develop with voice until they came up with the vacuum tube technology in the early 20s, which allowed you to do amplitude modulation or AM and frequency modulation or FM. So this allowed you to broadcast voice off of that carrier wave. So similarly in this development of the technology, I've replaced the spark gap design with the vacuum tube design, and much like Rife utilized the vacuum tube design to do pulse modulation, we're capable of doing that with the whole spectrum of bulbs that you have typically on the biocharger style units, as well as the voltage component, which emergent science is suggesting there are mechanisms that define electroporation and its effect on cell membrane walls. And there's a number of studies that are coming out to investigate this idea of non-contact corona discharge. So this is a new style of corona discharge that allows specific modulation if you want to do specific frequencies, or if you want to do the sweep function generator, which is really the later version of the Rife type technology, or if you want to do the hybrid in between, if you wanted to do sweeps around specific frequencies. Say, for instance, if you had 727 as a Rife frequency and you wanted to sweep around it from, say, 725 to 730, you could do the slow sweepy modulation, which is some of the hybrid design. So I'm very excited to introduce this new line, and I just wanted to share my thoughts with it. Thanks.